Good morning. So, um, I'll put this up here. Alright, so the 9:30 open here. Now I'm looking for a move against. We're above midnight open, right? So I'm looking for a move against some highs. We haven't had that post 9:30, so kind of just sunk down. A little bit of action during the early London, so because we have this huge London trend during the Europe session, which is over 200 points. My expectations for the morning would be very slim. So this might just be a don't do anything day. But so far in my model, I don't have any rules for the overnight session range. But I'm considering one. It's just that I won't be adding it yet. Only thing in my rules is the 120 points, which is right now that's what it's at, but it's going to change depending on how much volatility is in the market month by month. And then if there's high impact news, it's from 9 p.m. So there was balance of trade. There was high impact news here. So basically now I'm just, if I were to measure the 9 o'clock high, I would be looking for, I guess, I would be done trading once it gets underneath that midnight open around here. Then I would no longer be looking for shorts. But before I do short, I need a 5-minute short-term high, which could either be this high or we could form one maybe inside a higher time frame fair value gap. Yeah, and so now let me just go to yesterday and finish collecting data on yesterday's day. So I'm a little bit distracted, trying to do two things at once, journaling and waiting for price to get into position for me to take a trade, if it's going to. We're in the 5-minute fair value gap. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I was gonna mention that this 5-minute fair value gap technically could be considered the same thing as a 5-minute high if you really want to get into details, because it is a PDA, right? But obviously, it is not the model. So yeah, we are above midnight open. I do see how this is an area of resistance, and obviously, like, I see how it's likely gonna go lower here, and it's probably gonna continue going lower through the midnight open and maybe run on the low of the day. But it's not, my base case right now. To no, not I mean not my. It's not my intention to try and trade right now. Until we have a 5-minute short-term high. So maybe price will come back up. We'll leave this as a short-term high. Maybe 10 minutes later, we're going to come back up here, raid this, and then we can start to look to short and be perfectly within the model. But otherwise, then I won't be doing anything. Alright, so reach down to midnight open. Now we can still see some bounce higher because we are rejecting midnight open. We are at this breakaway gap. If price wants to come back up, I wouldn't be scared to continue shorting or looking for shorts. But I do have my range 120 points here, so right at 380 is the limit, basically when I get off the chart. And that's it. So we will be off the chart now. So gold, wow, gold is just pushing higher. Interesting. Wasn't Bitcoin at like, I swear, yeah, it was almost 110,000. And bonds started trading higher, which is interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens, but I mean, I kind of want to stay and keep watching it. I won't be taking any trades, but we'll watch it for until like maybe 10:15 because it's still pretty early. Alright, I'm gonna get to studying. Actually, let me finish collecting the data and I'll end the video. Let me go back to yesterday. Okay. So this wouldn't be, I wouldn't be completely against longing, like taking longs here, normally, but you know, it would need to be completely beneath midnight open for me to actually do it, and the range would have needed to be less than 120 points, right? Because it's over that, there's no more trading, and also we wouldn't be buying because we're above midnight open. But if let's just say price is a bit lower, then yeah, like this would be a good condition to buy. Ideally, I think if we were going to continue going lower, I'd like this to remain a breakaway gap. We can trade into it a little bit, but I don't know about coming all the way back up to this short-term high. Maybe. If we start to close above that, then maybe I would be more bullish. And this would be like a Judas swing lower, and then the bias would be higher to run out the overnight highs. Yeah, so if we push through these PD arrays very aggressively. And so far this doesn't really look good if you're trying to be long. We just filled in this gap completely. So this fair value gap right here. And this could even be an inverse setup where you're selling this gap. Now we've closed beneath it. Price is no longer being supported by it, could be resisted by it. But we're also, well, not necessarily. It can also be supported still. It doesn't necessarily mean that it closed. It didn't really close that far beneath it. Actually, it didn't close beneath it at all. But still, the fact that it closed in through almost the entire gap and didn't leave any of it open is obviously it's showing that price is not willing to really run to your target. Like if you know, like me when I was trading on Tuesday and I had that winning trade, like, you know, when I shorted here, price didn't really spend much time in this area and it very quickly ran lower. It's kind of like the conditions you want. I would not be comfortable sitting in this trade just watching it go back and forth like this. Like, yeah, so And there we go. So now we're displacing lower once again. So yeah, longs are not a very good idea. I know it would have been the model if it was beneath midnight open, but again, there's a reason why I have a certain amount of points before I stopped trading, which was 120 points. So this move 120 points is bigger than lots of 930 opens, and usually this it indicates a trend when price is in a condition to start really trending in the 10 o'clock hour. So the 9 o'clock hour made a range, not a Judas swing. It's bigger than the Judas swing. It's going to continue trending. And so that's where, you just kind of like you go offside. And I didn't even need, like, I know that because obviously I know how to read price very well. But it's also like, if for someone that can't read price very well, this might help. And they may not know why, 120 points, blah, blah, but you can see how at least here it protected me. And I'm glad to have followed the rules. I mean, yeah, like up here with this fair value gap, I could have taken this as a 5-minute short-term high too, and then looked for a 1-minute inverse fair value gap, but there is none obviously, and it's like pushing it a little bit because it's all within like the first 15 minutes too. And yeah, like I won't be doing that. Like I know last year was, instead of 5-minute short-term highs, no, 2022, instead of 5-minute short, no, 2023, I had like the same thing. I needed to wait for a raid on PD array, like a buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity, and instead of that I started using fair value gaps in PD arrays. But now obviously I won't be doing that. It's just gonna remain 5-minute short-term higher lows. Yeah, that's it for today.